Check it out. Let me tell you one.
Freedom for all.
What is up, my MMA brothers and sisters? Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk MMA. Holy moly, what a weekend, right? We finally kicked off UFC 2020. We've been talking about this a lot in the regards to this fight's important because if Conor wins, certain things are going to happen, and that's obviously what we're going to talk about today. But if he loses, it was going to be a whole nother direction. So obviously, we all know the result. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the reaction video that I did. I still have one more with Pettis and Ferreira. I think I'm still going to put that together and post that. So definitely look forward to that. Let me make sure the good old live chat is good to go. All right, so check this out. Obviously, the whole Conor thing, who's next? I really want to dive into that. And at the end of the day, really, I need your guys' assistance. I'm really curious about what you guys think. So we're going to chew all that up. But let's get warmed up. Let's not forget, besides the Conor world, there's still a lot going on in MMA, like an event this weekend. Now, the main event, I even went through the card. Really, it's just about the main event. I think there's a couple interesting things, so I want to get you guys excited for it. If you figure you're one of these guys or girls that likes to watch these events from the beginning to the end, or maybe the main prelims or whatever it is, there's always going to be good fights. So maybe if you don't know their names or whatever, there's always going to be good fights, something to enjoy. But when there's stakes on the line, which is what the main event is all about, that's when it gets interesting. So let's start there, and then we'll get into the Conor stuff, okay? So here we go. All right, so Junior Dos Santos, Cigano versus Curtis Blaydes. Now, these main events for the fight nights, they do vary. Sometimes it's kind of like, hey, this is just a great matchup. But a lot of times, these are contender fights. And even though like the winner may not necessarily get a shot at the belt, I think these fight nights, that's the main event is really about that. Winner gets an opportunity or is at least in line for these bigger opportunities. Now, this is obviously happening in heavyweight, and this is where when I first heard about this fight, it does make sense. And in order to assist us in this conversation, let's go over to the rankings here. So I just wanted to show you guys this because it's always at least a good measuring stick for what might happen, where these guys at, winner gets what, right? So we know that Daniel Cormier and Stipe are going to have their rematch, more than likely, no matter what happens. Cormier is going to probably retire, and he's out of this particular mix. So let's just keep him out because we know his next opponent, and it's gonna be whatever. As far as with Stipe, win or lose, obviously he's gonna stay at the top. We'll see what happens. Now, Francis Ngannou, this is really where he's positioned himself very similar to right before when Stipe had to fight him. He was killing people dead. Obviously, he was all hyped up, and they just figured, he's going to knock out Stipe, which he very well could have, but he didn't. Kind of gassed out, and Stipe did a wonderful game plan for what he needed to do. But the rematch for Ngannou and whoever the champion is, let's just say it's Stipe, that needs to happen. It really does. I truly feel Francis has developed from that loss. He knows how important this opportunity is because, look, he lost the last opportunity losing to him, to Stipe, and look at him. He's sitting. No one wants to fight him, and he's just sitting there because he does deserve a chance at the title. Okay, but the people in question, number 3, Curtis Blaydes, and number 4, Junior Dos Santos. Junior Dos Santos had beat Derek Lewis, so that makes sense. Curtis Blaydes has just been winning. And here's another aid that I'm going to go ahead and give you guys. Let's get to this page here. Let's take a look at Curtis Blaydes really quick. So Curtis Blaydes, hold on a sec. Here we go. Okay, so let me move that over actually for you. We don't want to give Sprint some free money. All right. All right, let me get this going here. All right, so with Junior Dos Santos obviously being his next fight coming up. Now, if you notice, and I'm going to scroll down here, if you notice, nothing but wins. Here's his record. Here's Curtis Blaydes, 12-2. So he's only lost twice. And guess who he's lost twice to? One guy. There's Francis Ngannou right there. And then he lost to Francis Ngannou. That was the eye stoppage. That one was a little bit weird. But the second time they faced each other, he lost via punches. It was a fast fight. Francis Ngannou is just dangerous. That's just a matter of fact. Francis Ngannou is dangerous. And yes, it's kind of like with Conor. Oh, well, if you take him late or if you grapple him, then you can beat him. Yeah, well, good luck with those things because he's going to knock you dead. And Francis Ngannou is a times 10. So he's only gotten better at that. I would have to assume that he's worked on his cardio to really kind of be able to push himself in a 5-round fight, once he gets that opportunity. But either way, Curtis Blaydes is truly the top guy. And this is what this is what happens in some divisions sometimes, is that they just aren't good enough. Now, the thing with Curtis Blaydes is I think he's only gotten better because his stand-up has gotten better. His wrestling is always right there, which is a huge thing that could win fights. But let's take a look at Stipe now. With Stipe, it looks like he's obviously been trying to get in there. He got these 2 cancellations right here. Lost to Francis Ngannou first round, in the same type of way. But he beat Derek Lewis. He beat Tai Tuivasa, who's just at least a young up-and-comer. So ultimately, the number 1 guy, so give that title shot to me. So he might say yes to that. Junior Dos Santos, same type of thing. He's right there. With a win, not only does he still stay there, if anything, he goes up a little bit closer. And again, Francis Ngannou is that wall. And maybe he wants the rematch. It's one of those things to where it's almost Francis Ngannou should be the really hitting. We're in January, we're barely hitting February. So there's so much time. Francis Ngannou is ready to go. He should definitely get a fight in before he gets a shot at the title. So hopefully, because it seems as if nobody wants to fight him. It's just why would I want to fight him, right? So get these guys, whoever wins this Saturday, whoever wins, get him to fight Francis. Period. And then from there, we have a for sure number 1 contender that is going to win the winner of Stipe / Daniel. But, we'll see how that goes. All right, so let's move on to the next thing, which I know is what you guys are probably most excited for. So let's get into it. All right, so here's this. Hold on one sec. Boom. All right, so I put this infographic up because it's going to help me kind of break this all down. Because this is honestly tricky and nobody really knows what's going to happen. So let's kind of break all of this down. I think what's important to know is that we're about to hit February, March, April. So February, March, April is when the Khabib-Ferguson fight happens, which is in 3 months. Conor wants to stay busy. Let's for sure just put this out first. Khabib, Tony Ferguson is going to happen. It is my freaking birthday, and I demand for that fight to happen. It's on the day chosen, which is April 18th, my birthday. So let's go forward with this conversation saying that fight is going to happen. Okay? So considering it's going to happen, it's April 18th. We got 3 months from there. If Conor was to wait for Khabib, and I hope you guys enjoy the picture I chose for Khabib there, he would have to wait until September after Ramadan and Khabib kind of gets back into shape and all of that. It's going to be later in the year, which means it's going to mess with his season. So he needs to get a fight in between, well, not now, but between now and let's just say April timeframe, within 3 months. Because then if he does that, or even 3 fight, even if it was May or whatever. Because if he does that, then he still has one more fight near the end of the year. He just wants to be busy, right? So let me go through these really quick just so I can make sure I touch base on all of them. So when it comes to, you see the good old Mayweather and Pacquiao there. I group them into one because let's just put that as boxing. If he was to go the boxing route. Now, I think that's not going to happen because it really wouldn't really be a good idea. Is it big money? For sure. He can kind of make a whole show of this starting now and let the fight happen in, June, July, and it could be a huge deal, all well and great. But I just want to make sure you guys are good. Hold on a second. I'm pushing my my computer to the limit is probably what I'm doing. All right. We're back. I think we're back. Okay, so Justin Gaethje is really the fight that I would probably vote for. Now, that's me personally. I don't care about who's making what money, whatever. I just feel like Conor is probably the best version of himself at 155. The whole 170 thing, hey, if you want to go for that, well, try to conquer the 155 mountain first is kind of what I'm, suggesting, let's say. And Justin Gaethje is the fight to keep him busy. He is the one that's right there. And with the whole Cerrone thing that went down, not a lot of us aren't fully impressed, right? Like, okay, we kind of knew that might happen, and we didn't really see what you really got. You just threw yourself at him. 40 seconds later, it ended. We don't really know what he truly has. A guy like Justin Gaethje, we will know. Because Justin Gaethje, yeah, he's going to get hit, but he can take a shot. And if he stays in the fight, it's going to last long. At least it'll only last 3 rounds. And so just in the sake of flow, that's the fight. That's the fight. Now, obviously, Dana already was talking about, Justin's basically in the doghouse. We need to have a sit down. We need to have understanding. So that doesn't sound great, but we also have to keep in mind the other side of the coin, which is Conor. If Conor says, you know what, that's the fight to keep me busy. That's the fight that will prove I'm next in line with for Khabib, which I would have no argument, right? You guys let me know. If he beats Justin Gaethje, is Conor McGregor deserve the rematch with Khabib? That is my question to you guys. And for me, I would say yes. He's the next guy. Obviously, Ferguson, that could always happen or whatever. But Justin Gaethje, I feel, is that fight. So let's move on to Masvidal. Masvidal, the problem here is, would it be a big money fight? Yes. The problem is there's momentum. Conor has momentum going with this win that he just got. With that momentum, the next fight becomes bigger, right? If he fights Masvidal, let's just say, I don't know, April, whatever, so that he can kind of gear 170 pounder, we would all be convinced, right? The problem is there is a high probability that ain't going to happen. And it could very well be that you get your ass kicked. It could very well be you get embarrassed. And if that was to happen, are we really going to get excited for the whole Khabib thing? Some people have already said, like, well, he could just do the Masvidal. It's at 170, and if it doesn't work out, then we'll go back to the 155 idea. I think that's going to get air out of the balloon. He loses, and especially if it's not good, I just really think it messes the illusion and it messes with the sparkle of what he just created. So Dana is trying to cash that in. He wants the Khabib fight. But I don't even think Khabib wants to give it to him, number one. And it's a two-way street. And if you hear Dana, Dana sounds like he's trying to convince Khabib via the media. It's for his legacy. This is one of the most important fights for him. Blah, blah, blah. He could beat Ferguson, which would probably be the icing on the cake. He could then fight Gaethje, and if he fights him, I'd say I'm pretty good. McGregor looked like crap in his fight. Okay. That's the excuse. Oh, well, he didn't train well. This time he'll train well. Like, they're just giving him every opportunity. But I want to get excited for it. I want to see his groundwork. I want to see more of Conor in a fight to even believe that it's going to be competitive versus Khabib. Especially since he just fought at 170, man. He didn't even lose the weight for 155. So come on, right? So with the Masvidal thing, it is a great idea, but it's just too risky. And that is why I don't think it's going to happen. Conor should know that, even though he's a risk taker, but I just feel like Dana's just not gonna entertain it. So moving on, the Nate Diaz. Now we've been talking about Khabib already. Ultimately, the way I see it is with Khabib, he's going to probably not want it. He might just say, you know what, I got this Ferguson fight. That's all I'm focused on. After the whole Ramadan thing, you know what? I'm going to fight Gaethje because he's the one that's next in line. Conor, show me something. Show me something. You've beating Donald Cerrone in that fashion. Didn't do anything for me. So, kick rocks. I just feel it. I feel that Khabib will do that, not only out of spite, but out of just doing the right thing in the regards to the division. He beat Donald Cerrone at 170, and now he gets a title shot with Khabib. That is not right. That is not right. Khabib knows it, and I don't think he will allow it. So, again, Dana and the speech that he's giving, oh, well, Khabib's never turned down a fight. He's setting up Khabib to make him look bad. That's why I picked that picture. Because let's not forget, McGregor was in there. He fought. Trained or all these other excuses, whatever, that's all they are excuses. And he got submitted, right? That's just it. He got beat on the ground, all of it. So that's my 2 cents on Khabib. I don't feel that he's going to allow it. Dana's trying to pin him in a corner, so that's probably really not going to fly. And he's already got plans. Ferguson is already a big thing to accomplish, and beyond that, he's got Ramadan right after. He's already going to think down the line anyways. So Conor needs to keep himself busy. That is my 2 cents. That is what I think. Even though Dana's pushing for it, it's a two-way party, baby. That brings me to Nate Diaz. Now, Nate Diaz, I almost didn't include him here, but I want to. Again, I told you guys I need your help. You guys tell me what you think what's going to happen next. But the whole Nate Diaz thing, think of this. I know that the whole Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal is lingering there. Like we want to kind of get a completion there. But if we were to put that to the side for a moment, Conor versus Nate 3, what does that do? That keeps Conor busy. That's an opponent that he is more known, he fought him twice and could feel more so that he could beat him. And if he does, that only excites the whole thing again. He gets another win. He got the trilogy, which is a big money fight. It accomplishes a lot of things. Big money, big fight, keep busy. And you could still do it at 170, whatever. That's why I still like the Justin Gaethje thing. Go down to 155, fight. I'm gonna say this last thing here. Conor's coach, John Kavanagh, what he wants, Justin Gaethje, but at 170. This is a problem. Why? Because now not only is Conor being able to choose whatever his opponents are, we've kind of known this a little bit. He gets to choose whatever his next match is and all this kind of thing. My problem is, now you're able to just not lose weight. You just fight 155ers at 170, but then you'll lose weight for the main fight. That's the type of shit that pisses me off. That's the kind of stuff that doesn't make me like him, because it's taking advantage. Sure, you're a big star, whatever. Lose weight like everybody else. You're 155. You're the 155 champ. Lose the weight and fight. Period. Lose the weight and fight. Everybody else does. Oh, you're just special because Dana likes you and this, that, and the other. Well, then you be the one that says, no, I need to lose the weight and I need to fight at 155. Nah, I'm gonna make this comfortable for me. So those type of things, and if at the very end of the what do you call that? The very end of his post fight speech, he flipped that switch again. You fools, basically saying anyone can get it. Y'all are fools. Blah 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 blah. Hey, I know that it's promotion and all that kind of thing, but that's the type of thing that I don't like. Just me personally. I'm just speaking personally. So it's entertaining. I'll say that. But what we know for sure is that the future of Conor McGregor is not going to be easy. Whomever these guys are that we got listed right here, whoever it is going to be a tough fight. And that's what I really want to see. So, thank you guys for watching. Please knock out power. This is at rated101.com. There's always new stuff coming in there. So I appreciate you guys checking that out and getting anything you got. Always helps this channel. But punch that like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. And until next time, my MMA brothers and sisters, peace.